Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially less than 10 days away from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and while that's very exciting, that does not mean the news and leaks are stopping right now. And today we have a rumor, a leak, and an update. It's all very exciting, so let's just go ahead and get right into this video. I really feel like I'm about to experience like 25 Christmases at once. Like, whatever your favorite holiday is, just imagine that a million times over in one day. That's what the Switch 2 Direct is going to be for me. And you know, now that I think about it, I know this is like wishful thinking, but I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to eliminate the problem of never having a game to play. Like, you know that feeling when you're like, man, I just don't know what to play, or I can't find something to play? The Switch 2 is going to take away that problem. At least I think it is, because when you think about it, you're going to have the Switch library, the Switch 2 library, indie games, and third-party stuff, like big third-party stuff. What are we doing here? But now that that's out of the way, before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. We're like 80 subscribers away from 16,000, so let's hit that goal, and let's just go and get into this video. So first, let's start with an update that's kind of coming from Nintendo when you think about it, because it was found inside of a Nintendo game. One of the biggest Nintendo Switch games of all time was just released at the end of the Switch's life, and technically this is a Wii U game, okay, and I know what kind of feelings comes with that, like, oh man, another Wii U game? But Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is arguably one of the most impressive games of all time. The graphics might not be for everybody, but I still think it looks incredible. Monolith Soft are wizards. Game Freak, take notes, you know what I'm saying? But this game is incredible, and a lot of people are enjoying it. A lot more people are experiencing it because of the Wii U just having a low audience. Now, inside of the game, due to data mining, at least that's how I think you got this information, there is a hidden 60 frames per second mode. And you gotta think, well, why? Obviously, that's not gonna be obtainable on the Switch. So obviously, I think this is going to be for the Nintendo Switch 2. And some people are thinking, well, that just means there's gonna be a new port of the game or something, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just gonna be like a patch or an update. The same way when you put like an Xbox One game in your Xbox Series X, I think you don't even have to download anything extra. Just when you start playing the games, it just kind of updates, like the textures and the frames and everything is just smoother. I think that's the same thing that we're going to have from the Switch to the Switch 2. And I really think the reason why this game came out when it did is because it's just going to be so easy to show the two comparisons. At the Switch 2 Direct, I could easily see them showing off like a side-by-side comparison. Like, this is a Switch version, this is a Switch 2 version, and I really think it's going to sell you on going back and visiting a lot of Switch games on your Switch 2. So this is very exciting news, man. If you have not picked up this game, do it. It's incredible, and it's going to take like 150 hours, but those 150 hours are going to be addictive. Now we can talk about 60 frames per second and maybe some upgrades in games, but one of the main criticisms so far of the Nintendo Switch 2 is the screen. It's like, man, it's only an LCD screen. We're going from OLED to LCD, and I really do think when Nintendo Switches finally inevitably get a price drop, maybe, actually I don't even know why I said inevitably, but one of the first consoles I think will get a price drop is the Switch OLED, simply because if you have an OLED model and then you have the new LCD model, both on the market, and you've never had a Switch at all, and you finally want to buy some kind of Switch, and you go to the store and you see OLED model, LCD model, I'll just get the OLED model. So I really do think that would be the first console to get a price drop if a price drop happens. But the main criticism is LCD screen, and you gotta think LCD screen technology has came a long way since 2016 when they were putting the Switches together, or in 2025. They've been working on these, probably manufacturing since 2024, but still, that's a huge difference, you know what I mean? But we have some leaks today for the screen, and it is very exciting stuff. The Switch 2 is rumored to have a 120Hz LCD screen with VRR and HDR support. This is from Fameboard user Secret Boy, who previously almost accurately, whoa, what's going on there? Called out the GPU performance before the clock speeds were leaked 10 days later back in January. I've heard the screen supports 120Hz and VRR, which should help a lot in handheld. People should really be prepared for 3 teraflops docked and around half that in handheld. I don't expect people to believe me, but that's what I've heard the final specs are. And this is a massive improvement over the Switch. And they talk about the screen right here. I forgot to mention that it is an LCD. No idea about the actual quality of the screen, but I think OLED was always going to be too expensive for this feature set. It really just boils down to it being cheaper so they can implement all these features in it, which I needed to get into the first iteration of the hardware so developers could optimize their games around it, and that part is speculation. This is a huge revelation for next generation console if true, as it has the potential to show better color, higher frame rates, smoother gameplay, and for it to not look as obvious when a game fails to hit its target frame rate. The Switch OLED and Steam Deck can only hit 60 Hz, but this effectively doubles that. So I'm not going to talk about the Switch OLED because it's an LCD screen, and I know the Steam Deck has an OLED screen, but I'm just going to go off the base Steam Deck model. This is going to be double what the Steam Deck is. That sounds incredible. And this is a rumor and speculation, but allegedly this guy has leaked a bunch of stuff accurately, or almost accurately. So, hey, this is just more promising news about that LCD screen. And I mean, like I was saying, it's been so long since the original Switch came out. You really think it's going to be the same LCD screen as the Switch? I'm just not seeing it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into another Nintendo Switch 2 release date leak. And it's so funny because I always thought June. Wait, that is not true at all. What the hell am I saying? I thought this console was going to come out the end of 2023, the beginning of 2024, summer 2024. I was sure September 2024. Now I'm saying June 2025. But for the past couple months, I've been saying June. But over the past 2 weeks, it's like, no, June, what the hell are you talking about? You're a dumbass, man. This thing is coming out in May. And today we have another release date leak for May. Nintendo Switch 2 releasing in May, confirmed listing by Saturn Media Market. A few days ago when I visited Saturn Media Market store here in Germany, I noticed that almost all major Nintendo Switch games were heavily discounted. This is quite unusual for our area. Interestingly, the Switch also was the only console on sale. Out of curiosity, I specifically asked an employee at the info desk when exactly they'd be getting the Nintendo Switch 2 in May. So they kind of like suggested it was already coming out in May, like, hey, the console's coming out in May, do you know the exact date? Which is kind of smart. After checking the system for about 20 seconds, he confirmed that the console was indeed already listed internally, mentioning May 9th as the official release date. Of course, this date could still change, but to me it sounds like we might generally see the console launching in May. This is crazy. This is like the 10th leak or 10th suggestion saying that May is going to be the console release date or release month or whatever. And that is insane. We can assume April 2nd is the day pre-orders will start. So April 2nd pre-orders, May something release? I mean, it could happen. I would say they probably need like minimum 45 days from pre-ordering to release. And if this happens, man, it's going to be so exciting. And to play devil's advocate, you might say, well, that's not how things work in the gaming industry. But to be honest, anything that you thought was like the official way to do something in the gaming industry, I feel like that has went out the window completely. And I do think May 9th is a Friday, and the Switch launched on a Friday. I know Nintendo is kind of doing like Thursday launches for games and stuff now, but Friday I still think makes the most sense to launch a console on. So we will see, but this is another notch on like the May leak window, and I'm not against it, man. I want to play this damn console. But as always, your opinion matters more than mine. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. And if you made it to this part of the video, if you could really do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the videos. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep the community growing. I'd very much appreciate that. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.